Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. I missed you.
I miss you.
Hi, everybody. Hello. There's Monday. There is Monday. Thanksgiving is over. Look at the decorations. Very nice. Welcome to the show, everybody. Have a seat. Oh, wow. I don't even know what's going on. There's candy on my desk. Hi. Have a seat. Welcome to the show. I don't know. I got to rearrange things. Hi. Welcome back. We're back. We're live. Thank you, everybody. Have a seat. Let's get started. Welcome back after a few days off for the Thanksgiving holiday. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to my good friend. It's Miss Kendall.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hello. It's good to see you.
It's like Whoville up in here.
I know. It looks fantastic thanks to our creative services team. I saw Kimberly over there decorating our set for the holidays. Very nice. This is very pretty, yeah. I don't know if this is necessarily a good idea. I'll be eating these throughout the season, but this is very nice there. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. It started a little rough. I
or
may not have left my wallet on the roof of my car and just drove off.
Seriously?
I did. It was at like 5:30 in the morning because I filled in for Shane on Thanksgiving morning and was going to an event. And I got to the event and I was like, where's my, oh my gosh, it's on 100 somewhere. So, but then it got a lot better.
Okay, you never found it though.
No, I had to call and do a report. And I had to steal
No.
Jordan's credit card because I don't have any money.
I'm sorry. That is like something from a Hallmark movie.
I know.
That
I'm
is very
like,
sad.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, whoever
I know.
took that.
Did you at least have good food at least?
Yeah, I ate lots of good food
Okay, that's
and
good.
lots of good drinks.
Yeah, we had a very low key one. We
Yeah.
went over the mother-in-laws, and it was just basically 7 of us, which I'll take a low key Thanksgiving. But we cooked enough food for a European army. I mean, it was like, you know what I mean? There were literally 5 adults and a baby, and we made a full turkey.
Oh.
I made. We had a whole pan of macaroni and cheese. We had mashed potatoes. We had everything, and we got done. We're like, what are we doing? Why did we make all of this food? So we have enough leftovers through Christmas. It was nuts.
But that's a good thing. I mean, we didn't make enough to have a ton of leftovers, and I was kind of depressed on Sunday.
Well, you can come over to our house. We have plenty, believe
Mac
me.
and cheese.
Yeah. And I got to give a shout out. You know, we went out. I like to be out and about for Black Friday. I was obviously at the other job for actual Black Friday, but we went out shopping at about 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving. And I just want to say, they ain't paying me. I don't do an endorsement for them. Bravo to Minnesota-based Best Buy and Target, because I went there on Black Friday, or I'm sorry, on Thanksgiving night. They know how to do this. They know it is controlled. I was very impressed with the Target team members and the Best Buy folks. They know how to do the chaos. It's like I haven't seen that level of control since, like, you know, I always talk about, you know, Disney knows how to do it really well. They know how to move massive amounts of people in and out. Bravo, Target. I went to the Champlin one, and it was like they had they know how to do it. They have cracked the Black Friday code. You can get in and out. There were literally Target team members holding signs that said, I can check you out, and not like that, but you know what I mean? It was like, that sounded, but yeah. I can ring you up.
I was like, you look good at 5
I know
p.m.
you look
on
good.
Thursday.
But no, it was good, yeah. And then even yesterday we went into Best Buy, there's still 8 million TVs available. I have never seen so many TVs on sale in my life. I mean, and they're really cheap. If you want a bazillion-inch TV, you can get it for like $100. It's crazy, yeah.
It's true. Well, Jordan was looking at them and he's like, we could get this giant 72-inch TV for like $500. I'm like, where am I putting a 72-inch TV? Where?
You don't even want to know how big mine is. Mine is very, I'm a dude in that way. You
Jason?
know this. What?
How big is your TV? Don't pick up that spoon.
82 inches.
Oh,
Let's get going.
word!
Yeah, I know, but I'm a dude.
Y'all just are different.
I need to watch Star Wars in a large screen. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. I almost bought a bigger one yesterday. Anyway, no. I didn't. Fallon, let's kick off the hot dish. Fallon was all new last night after football, and Tiffany Haddish was one of his guests, and he asked her about a rumor going around about a potential new gig. Look at this.
This is good practice for hosting the Oscars, maybe? Huh? Did you hear this rumor? There's a big thing online. Fans of yours want you to host the Oscars.
Oh, that's what's up. That's probably the whole African diaspora. That's not funny. It's a lot of us.
Yeah. Would you ever host the Oscars?
I would if they paid me and I could do it with somebody. I don't want the. Haven't you done it before?
I've done things like that before, yeah.
Have you hosted the Oscars?
Never the Oscars.
Well, if you did it with me, I would do it. Like, I don't want all that pressure on me because I'm going to lose my hair and then I'm going to have to really wear wigs all the time.
We do it
Too much
together.
stress.
It's a lot of stress, yeah.
I mean, unless they paid me like a lot of money, then I would be like, it's worth it. And I would have it hot. It would be so much fun. We would have twerk contests and everything.
Right?
Yeah, I would get Meryl Streep up there to twerk with Susan Sarandon. You know, it'd be crazy.
I don't know if the Academy. No, that would be fun, actually. I don't know. I don't know how she would be. I like her. But I think she would need to be teamed with somebody. And no offense to her. I like her individually, but she would be good. Like, one of my favorite pairings, I don't always like pairings as far as hosting, but when Alec Baldwin did it with Steve Martin a couple times, that was great because they played off each other really well. They did. They had a good rapport.
Yeah.
Steve Martin in the modern era is still one of my all-time favorite Oscar hosts because he knows how to do it. You go out there, as he says, you tell 10 minutes of your best jokes, and then you get out of the way. You get out of the way of the show, and that's what he does. And that's what a host should do. He shouldn't try to make it any longer. It's already 80 hours long. Just do your thing and then get out of there. So
I have a question for you.
Sure.
I know that you were very pro no host Oscars. Do you still feel that way now that a lot of other shows have done this?
No, remember, I was anti.
Oh, no, you were anti.
I was anti. No, I think there are some shows that need a host to keep the ball going, and I think the Oscars, being the most regal, you can get away with it at the Emmys. That's not regal. The Golden Globes, it's a party. Right. The Oscars, there's something elegant about it that I think you need a master of ceremonies to keep the show going. Did I mind it last year? No, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would, but I would like a host back. I would.
Right.
I do. I'm old-fashioned that way. I don't know. Timid reaction from the audience on that one. But anyway, next in the dish last week, we told you about the drama on America's Got Talent. Now, NBC fired judges Gabrielle Union and Julianne Hough after just one season. Now, this story blew up huge over the Thanksgiving holiday. According to sources, the two were singled out for their appearance on multiple occasions. Gabrielle also reportedly raised concerns over inappropriate comments made by several folks, including a racially insensitive joke made by Jay Leno. There's also another case of an act that was racially, why am I having problems saying it? Racially, thank you, audience, inappropriate. Sources say NBC ignored Gabrielle's concerns. Now, Gabrielle's husband and basketball great Dwayne Wade has had enough and wants answers. He tweeted, "When I got the news that my wife was being fired, my first question was, why? I am still waiting on a good answer." And goes on to say Gabrielle has always been an advocate for her community and culture. Yeah, look, I got to tell you, I have eyes, and I'm just going to be blunt. It doesn't look good for NBC. It doesn't look good for Simon Cowell's production company who runs that show because multiple people are confirming what Gabrielle said. Jay Leno made a really insensitive joke. And then, like I said, then another performer came on to do an act and was really inappropriate. And Gabrielle raised concerns about both of those and, according to her, ignored. And that means allegedly NBC ignored her concerns, and that is concerning. Somebody, they need to get this taken care of in the next few days because it's been whistling in the wind since Thanksgiving. They need to get control of this.
It's interesting. I was thinking about and reading about this. Just no one else is really having it come down and come down and come down continuously like NBC is. The last, I don't know how many months, it's been a little rough for them. They need to get it together.
Yeah, well, they had the Matt Lauer situation. And to be fair, CBS had the Charlie Rose thing, but NBC is still getting hammered.
Right.
And this isn't. Now, look, to be clear, NBC doesn't outright own the show, but it is on their network, so they have responsibility. Next in the dish, one of the highest grossing movies of all time finally has a sequel. Sort of. I know a lot of you were talking about this over the weekend, including me. Comcast/Xfinity rolled out a long ad on Thanksgiving, which is giving all of us the feels. You know which one I'm talking about. Look at this.
You came back. My son, my family.
I bawled. After 37 years, E.T. and Elliot, played by Henry Thomas, are back together. Now, this isn't a movie, but a long-form ad which spotlights, the whole thing was to spotlight how technology brings people back together. Steven Spielberg signed off on this. He consulted on the project. Now, if you watched the parade, the Thanksgiving Day parade when it debuted, that was a really cut-down version. You may not know this, but there is a full 4-minute version available on Xfinity's YouTube channel. The 4-minute one is so good, it kind of fills out the story a little bit more. And I was reading an article that said, this is the sequel without the traps of doing a sequel and possibly ruining the original. I think they're right. You get everything you need to without a bad sequel being made. Because you get all the feels. I love seeing them together.
It was so good. My family rarely is quiet around football, and let me tell you, that was the only time, because it played during one of the football games, we were all like,
what?
wow.
I know. And Henry Thomas,
so cute.
He looks so good. Lots more to come, everybody. Go get another cup of coffee. We'll be right back. Coming up on The Jason Show, Lori Loughlin's daughter returns to the internet. Our friends at TMZ will fill us in on what she's saying while her mom awaits trial in the college admission scandal. Plus, foodie queen Stephanie Hansen is back with some of the easiest sugar cookies you'll ever make. And he helped pick Miss Iowa USA. And this past weekend, producer Ted brought his pageant judging skills closer to home. He'll give us his recap of the Miss Minnesota USA pageant. Grab another cup of coffee. We'll be right back.
David, one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid was the original Jumanji, and I needed to know, what was it like to shoot that movie, and do you have any fond memories of working with Robin Williams?
So that movie was hell. It was really fun. It was really fun. I remember Robin was never in a bad mood. You understand?
Really?
We would work 12, 15 hours a day. Then he would say, David, you want to go out in the club and do improvs? And I was like, improvs?
More work?
I'm going to sleep.
Right.
He was just great, a really sweet man.
Yeah.
And I really miss him. Not one bad day.
That's great.
Not one bad thing
That's
to say
great.
about him. So what was that? He was one of my idols.
Yeah.
To act with him. So
Yeah.
I do remember one real quick story. The first scene we shot together, I totally went up. I mean, when they said action, I forgot all my lines.
Yeah.
It was just one of those, man, that's Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So I got it together and we were able to move on.
How do you think men in film would go?
Yeah, David Allen Greer on with Andy last night. Yeah, you get like that. Again, real quick, we're going to get to TMZ, but people always ask in the audience, I do a little Q&A, who's your favorite celebrity they've interviewed? I always say Robin is on that list because I got to interview him in 2010 for one of the night at the museums at the Smithsonian. And they introduce you when you do these interviews. They said, okay, Robin, this is Jason from Minneapolis. No joke. Hand on my mom's left hand. I don't want to say hand, on my mom's life there. No, but I'm saying, but I walked in and the guy goes, Robin, this is Jason from Minneapolis. I didn't say another word for 5 minutes. He went off on a hysterical thing about Minneapolis, and then the interview was over, and it was delightful. It was great, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Well, on Mondays we get a special serving of hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Audience, give it up for Sean from TMZ. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. I spent it here, but, it was good.
Well, yeah. First up, this is all over the... this is big. Lori Loughlin's daughter is back online, back on the YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. So Olivia Jade, you'll remember, she had a YouTube career before this whole Varsity Blues college admission scandal, a very infamous YouTube because she disparaged her career as a USC student when she was on that YouTube channel of hers. Well, she's now back. She hasn't posted anything since the whole scandal broke. We have seen her out and about several times, but she posted a 2-minute video that was kind of cryptic and weird because she wanted to address her YouTube fans and talk to them, but at the same time, she also was saying, oh, guess what? I can't really tell you anything because of legal reasons. Her parents are currently being indicted by the federal government for their involvement in this scandal. So she really wasn't able to say much of anything, which is leading people to question why she came back to YouTube in the first place.
I was going to say, maybe wait until after the indictment of your parents to make a YouTube video. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you should. Yeah, I think maybe wait till the trial's done. Let's get to there.
Yeah, call me kooky. Well, next up, a judge is still sorting through the estate of John Singleton, but one of his daughters will be taken care of in the meantime. How?
Yeah, so that's right. His 21-year-old daughter, Cleopatra, the court has ruled that she's going to get a monthly allowance of nearly $3,000, around $2,800, plus a payment to cover her semester abroad, which she had already planned. Now, this was something that she said that John would have wanted for her, which obviously I think a lot of people, wouldn't really argue with. His estate is estimated to be worth around $35 million, which is still yet to be divided up among all his heirs. His mother, Sheila Ward, was actually put in charge of the estate, and Cleopatra is only one of 7 children, but good to know that in the meantime, her education and her continuing to, make ends meet, so to speak, will not be affected by the ongoing dispute.
And finally, Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott reunited over the holiday. Are they back together?
That is the big question on everyone's mind. So we knew that they were going to be co-parenting throughout the holidays because obviously they want to be spending time together as a family unit for baby Stormy. Kris Jenner had her annual Thanksgiving bash for the family out in Palm Springs, and that's where we spotted them actually at a casino. Now, we don't know the relationship status, so this does seem to be about the same routine that they've been doing for a month or so, and we haven't seen any PDA, but they did seem to be laughing, enjoying each other's company, and appearing close without necessarily getting, overly affectionate. So now we watch and we wait.
Well, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for keeping an eye on that. That's right. Sean.
Someone has to.
Someone has to. Have a good week, my friend. Thank you so much. Sean from TMZ. It's a sharp cut. It's like, bye. Yeah. I love the story everybody's talking about. I don't know about everybody. Yeah. More dish this morning. We talked a bit about Kelly Clarkson's talk show and the success it's had so far. Now it's getting a big vote of confidence from a really popular entertainment publication. A new piece in Variety says the show is a hit, and it's a hit because it's a bit of a throwback and compares Kelly to Dinah Shore. They praised her ability to banter with guests as well as her songs, sketches, and just a kind of a feel-good atmosphere. Since it debuted in September, it is the #4 rated syndicated daytime show. It trails Dr. Phil, Live with Kelly Lee and Ryan Lee, and Ellen. Her success is breathing new life into the highly competitive talk show game. Highly competitive. Our own network, Fox, is betting big on Nick Cannon. He's getting a new show next fall. CBS, meanwhile, is hoping to compete against Kelly with Drew Barrymore. She's getting a new show. Speaking of E.T., it all goes back to E.T. Gertie now has a talk show. So
all goes back.
Well, I was talking, Hansen's coming up in just a little bit. Stephanie Hansen was actually on my radio show this morning, and we were talking about the secret of the sauce as far as Kelly Clarkson is concerned. I said, Steph, why do you like Kelly? And she kind of said what this article said, and that is she's relatable. She's not overly fancy. She's you feel like you could be friends with her. That is the trick. And the show's producers are very smart. When you do a show like this one, or Leno or Letterman or whatever, you have to let the person be who they are. You can't try to mold them into something that they're not. And it looks like the producers and NBC who owns that show, they're letting Kelly be Kelly. That is the ultimate secret in a show like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people can smell, like that lady there, she can smell a phony. No, I mean that.
Yes.
People can smell that lady, right? The audience, especially in the daytime, they can smell phoniness. They can, if you're being something that you're not, they'll turn it off and they'll go to The Price is Right. By the way, don't you do that. I'm just saying, yeah.
We're very real, very real. I agree. I think that it's cool that she's such a fan of all the people who come on her show too. So it'd be like me sitting down and being like, hi, Josh Gad, so what was it like to sing with Idina Menzel? Just go.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, it is, and that's, on a local level, we try to do this. Her atmosphere is what we try to do here, because I grew up with all of those, the Rosie O'Donnell show, the original one, Dinah Shore, Mike Douglas, the throwback. Like, I think nowadays people want to come to a show like Kelly's and ours and just kind of escape for an hour, and not have to worry about, you know what I mean? So I think that's part of her secret. So congratulations to her. It's very hard to do well in daytime. It's really competitive. So Kelly, congratulations. Next in the dish, it should be no surprise that comedians like to protect their acts from social media, especially when comedians are putting a new act together. But listen to this. Pete Davidson from SNL is taking that to a whole new level. Pete asked those attending his comedy performance over the weekend in San Fran to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Failure to follow the NDA will result in a $1 million fine. As part of the agreement, those in attendance can't give any interviews, opinions, or critiques or about any of the show in any form, including blogs, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, homing pigeons, handwritten letters. The venue, thank you, Kendall. The venue, I'm trying today, girl. I'm really trying. The venue was also authorized to confiscate cell phones and cameras. Look, that is outrageous. I love you, Pete Davidson, but it's not like you brought George Carlin back from the dead. You know what I mean? It's
Who's George Carlin?
What?
Who is that?
George Carlin is a legendary comedian. You're young, you wouldn't know. Yeah, he's a legendary comedian.
Like, would I see him and know him? Like, I'd see him
you
and
would
I'd be
see,
like,
if you saw,
I know that guy.
Yeah, if you saw George Carlin, you would probably know who he is. Yeah,
Okay.
legend. I just brought up a name of a past comedian that's a legend that, Pete, I'm sorry, I don't know if your material is worth a $1 million fee.
I've never heard of that.
I mean,
that is so weird.
Well, let's bring it back to Robin Williams. Robin Williams, right before his death, Miss Shannon talks about this all the time, and I don't know if people know this, Robin would try out material at Acme in the North Loop in Minneapolis. Yeah, Robin Williams would try out acts quietly, but he didn't make people sign an NDA. Seinfeld doesn't do that, for heaven's sake. Seinfeld tries out new material all the time. I don't know.
Weird.
Believe in your own press, girl. Believe in your own press. Yeah, still, that's what that is. Still ahead. Producer Ted judged the Miss Minnesota USA pageant over the weekend. He's going to give us a recap. That's right, he was busy. But next, our resident foodie queen, Stephanie Hansen, is back with the easiest sugar cookie you ever did make. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us on this Monday. Welcome back. Look who's here, everybody. It's Santa's favorite elf. Santa's favorite cookie-making elf. Elf is here, everybody. That's right. Hi. It's cookie-making season, and who better to show us how to make said cookies than our resident foodie. You love her, I love her. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Weekly Dish on My Talk 107.1, Stephanie Hansen.
Okay.
No, before we start,
Uh-oh.
the audience knows that we tell them everything. They know all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So when I get a card like this from the producers, it's usually filled with information about the segment. This is how good of a guest you are. There's one sentence on this. That's it.
It says what?
There's nothing. It just says make cookies, basically. Yeah. That's how good of a guest you are.
All right. Well, I grew up and my mom was a master cookie baker. Like, they were super thin and delicate, and she would chill the dough and spend hours rolling it out. And after my mom died, like 10 years ago, I had a daughter and I was trying to replicate this experience, and it was terrible. I was terrible at it. So I finally found like a cookie dough that you can roll out, that's easy, that doesn't require chilling. I did the radio show this morning. This was in my purse.
Yeah.
So-
Literally, I'm not kidding, audience.
Yeah,
She
I
walks
showed
in.
him.
Yeah. She goes, this is in my purse. I'm like, why is cookie dough in your purse? She goes, because I'm on your TV show later too. So yeah.
So it's super easy. There's the recipes online, but it's basically a cup of sugar, 2 sticks of butter, vanilla, almond, an egg, and then some baking powder and 3 cups of flour.
And don't worry, as Stephanie said, we're gonna put this on our Facebook page a little bit later. Yeah. Don't worry about writing that down.
But the trick to making cookies is like you gotta roll them out and get them thin enough.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask,
Yeah.
in your research, because you said you failed the first time.
Oh my gosh.
In all of your years, is that single-handedly? Because like I always joke, talk about biscuits, there's a trick, you have to have everything cold. What is the single-handed trick with cookies?
In my mom's version, because there was tons of sour cream in them, it was to keep the dough cold, to roll it out like a 1/4 inch thin. But when you're doing it with kids, you don't want all that fussy time in the refrigerator. You just want to get going and get them into the oven.
Yeah.
So this dough, like, look at it. It's super just...
That seems like a
it's
really easy dough.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Not
it's
fussy.
It's all in the dough. And then there's another secret. We're going to just roll a few out here. I'm not making you do it, Jace, because you have such a nice, pretty suit on.
Thank you. Well, you're really nice. I could have gotten you an apron, my love.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
So it's just, you can do them like thicker or thinner. If you have little kids with big like paws, you know, you might want them a little bit thicker because they, you know, they break.
Yeah.
But so, and then you just throw them on there and you bake them up. And I decorated them. And I made one for you, Jace. I made a couple for you. I don't know if
look
you
at
can
that.
see
A little Jason cookie. Oh.
Now, you know,
Thank you, Steph.
like, I'm not Martha Stewart. Like, they don't
Is that
look
really
all
me?
fancy.
You forgot the little beard.
Well, I did it from the logo, and to be honest, I did try to put the nose on there, but it looked like a weird mouth, so I took it off.
Okay, thank you for that.
So this dough is just like, here, go ahead and try one.
I'll do it.
It's very pliable.
Oh, it is easy dough.
Yeah, and it's just...
Well, no, I'm not saying it. It's just... Oh, you're going to scoop it like
just
that?
because it's easier. But honestly, like, kids can do it. They don't fall apart. They're not cracking. They're not overly, like, buttery and loose.
No, this is it because if you have a fussy dough, it doesn't make this fun at all.
No, then your kids are frustrated, and the cookies break when you bake them. These people that do this know. Like, this maybe doesn't seem like a gigantic hack, but if you bake cookies and you, like, are going to decorate them, you know this is true. Now, here's my other secret tip.
Okay.
And my Thanksgiving tips, by the way, were hot because I had the best Thanksgiving ever.
Yeah. I will tell you, I compliment Steph all the time. Y'all watching, you know it. Your stuff, all of your segments online on our page does tremendously well because you do. There's a reason I love you. There's a reason we're friends, and there's a reason you're very popular on our show. Your tips are blankety blank really good. I mean, seriously, yeah.
I got a lot of pictures of your gravy with the kitchen bouquet, so I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
But here's one of the tricks with the icing. I don't do like the fancy royal icing that they do at the bakery because I don't think it tastes good. Like, I want you to eat my cookie and have it taste good.
Yeah.
So all it is powdered sugar, melted butter, and a little bit of milk. What? And they are delicious. And I know you're like trying to be super healthy, but will you just eat a bite?
Yeah, no. So wait, repeat the recipe again.
Powdered sugar, and this is online too, but melted butter and a little milk. Oh, here comes Kendall. She likes everything. Okay, Kendall. Here, I'm ready. You can eat Jason.
Yeah. Thank you. There we go.
But don't it taste good and like buttery and...
You know, and you know what it is too? The icing isn't overly like gaggingly sweet. No, this is a very light, right, Kendall?
This is really good.
I know.
I love the almond vanilla.
No, I'm serious. And I do love the texture of the cookie.
Yeah, Yeah.
It's not too thick. It's just a perfect size. And that icing, you are right. That icing, I think, is your best hack.
I know, because it's the buttery flavor in there. So
These are
again,
addicting.
This isn't like a massive, like I'm teaching you something you don't know, but this dough is life-changing. I made 7 dozen cookies last night, and it took me like 45 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
It goes super fast.
What are all those bowls for? Is
The
this
bowls,
decoration?
this is my table decoration. I take pride in bringing, look at these.
Look at that. Look at that.
You guys, my husband.
Audience, can we hear it for the decorations here?
They're not dunce caps. My husband hates these. He's made me promise that I won't put them on the mantle this year. And I'm like, no, I'm putting them on the mantle. I want decorations.
Audience, I think these are
They're
pretty. I
fancy.
know. What's wrong with your husband?
He is just, he's too much of a minimalist.
Yeah.
I want to have more decorations at the holidays. He kind of edits.
Well, he can't edit right now. He's injured with his hand, so
I
he can't
know.
do
He
anything.
is.
So, yeah.
He is.
Stephanie Hansen, everybody, for this
so glad
recipe.
you like
Head to stephaniesdish.com. Plus, we'll post this on our Facebook page a little bit later. When we come back, Stephanie and I have been friends now for about 11 years.
Oh.
Probably one of my favorite Stephanie stories ever about buying something on Craigslist when we return. Back after this.
All right.
I'll just eat it.
Oh, please.
I'm having another one.
They were good, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's
Welcome back, my dear friends. Welcome back. More with Stephanie Hansen. Now, if you watch Stephanie on our show or from the radio show Years on My Talk, you know one of my favorite attributes of Stephanie is brutally honest, doesn't really care very much. She will just say it how it is. And she told a story this morning. She's been filling in on my radio show that is so quintessential Stephanie. And it's about buying something on Craigslist, which I'm sure some of you can relate to.
It's holiday season.
Yeah.
I was getting a gift for my husband, and I was corresponding with this man about a Craigslist item.
This is a cautionary tale.
And I was going to meet him in Cottage Grove. We were going to meet. We were going to meet at the Menards. So I drive Saturday morning to the Menards. As I'm driving, I get a text. Oh, the parking lot's really busy. We're going to meet across the street at the dialysis place.
He took her to a second location. That's a.
So I was like, oh, okay, all right, fine. And then he was texting me, and I was driving, so I was reading the text and not responding. Like, my wife doesn't feel comfortable with PayPal, so can you please bring cash?
So now you're walking to meet a strange man with cash in your pocket.
At the dialysis place.
Yes!
He's in a town and country gold
Minivan. I've seen this before. It's called Silence of the Lambs. Yes.
And I'm just like, okay, all right. So I get there. He gets out of the car. He looks real nice. And I realize I don't have enough cash. So I'm like, I have to go to the cash machine. And there's a Wells Fargo across the street. So I'm like, here, just get in. I was feeling weird because I was the weirdo that didn't bring enough cash.
A strange man got into your car.
So he has to like get the item and it's kind of fragile. So he's like, do you have anything? I'm like, I have a blanket. So I give him the blanket.
He's in the back seat of her car with a blanket, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you are minutes from being put into a well. Yes.
He covers the thing, and we drive to the Wells Fargo. Then I go into the Wells Fargo, and I'm not a Wells Fargo customer. So I'm like, I just need some cash. How do you do that? He was like, okay, I can help you.
Meanwhile, the strange man is in her car.
With my item that my husband's really gonna like. So he was very nice, but I get back into the car and he's like, can I show you this video? And I'm like, what's the video? He goes, well.
You just say no!
He goes, I just want to show you that this thing works. I'm like, well, I believe that it works or you wouldn't sell it to me. He's like, well, I went to the trouble to make the video, so let me show you. And I'm like, ooh, he's gonna show me some weird video. He turns on the video on the phone, and it's legitimately the thing working. I'm like, okay, Phil, that's great. All right, so here's your cash. Can I bring you back to your car?
Oh,
the
God.
whole way he's talking about this thing. Like, I can't even believe he's selling it. He seems so emotionally attached to it. So I get him, I drop him off, and he's like, happy holidays. Will you send me a picture of it when you get it set up in your house?
So he turned out to be a nice guy.
He was very nice.
He turned out to be a great guy. But
I know, I did all the
Stephanie,
things wrong, you guys.
She did everything
I did.
wrong.
I tried to go to the public place. And I tried to use PayPal, but he said his wife didn't trust it.
You left a strange man in your car.
With a blanket.
And duct tape. No, anyway,
no duct tape.
He turned out to be a
He was
good
very
guy.
nice.
That's a
From
good holiday
Phil
story.
from Hastings.
That's right. We love you. Good man. Still ahead. Only this one. Still ahead. A new Miss Minnesota USA was crowned over the weekend, and producer Ted was there to take it all in. His judging recap when we return. He was a good man after all. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday as we kick off December. Well, new Miss Minnesota USA and Minnesota Teen USA were crowned over the weekend. And because he did such a great job in Iowa, listen to this. Producer Ted made it 2 for 2 in the judges' seat. And that means it's time for another edition of America Loves Ted. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for producer Ted Johnson.
Hello.
Ted, before we get to this, I didn't even tell you this in our meeting. We were kind of rushed today. I felt like you. I watched about 5 Hallmark Christmas movies this weekend with my mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like you.
I went home for a couple of days, and my mom required me to watch a Hallmark movie with her.
Well, I mean, you're the guy.
Yep.
You're the guy.
Yep.
Okay, so as I said in the intro, you did Miss Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
It was Miss Iowa USA, right?
Miss Iowa USA.
And you did, and you judged that, and you did such a good job. They asked you back.
I guess, yeah. I got an email 3 weeks ago, and they were like, "Come on back." And I said to Shane, who also judged with us, I said, "So did you get that email?" And no.
So wait a minute. So you got asked back, but Shane did not get asked back to judge.
Nope.
Well,
Awkward.
sorry about that, Shane. Got a little awkward there. Who did you judge with?
Big time panel. So we got some talent agents, a former Miss Mississippi.
Okay.
And then right next to me right there.
Yeah, and the floral pants.
Holly from Big Brother. She finished second.
Oh, seriously?
Yep.
What was she doing? Is she from?
She is a former Miss Wyoming.
Oh.
And so this was almost like a reunion for her.
Okay.
Coming back into the Miss USA stuff. And of course, I had to take a picture with the ladies.
Well, look at that.
Right?
Look at you. Look at you all dolled up in your suit. They are very beautiful.
Yeah.
Is this the day of the actual? This
was prelims. So this was the outfit before the outfit.
Oh wow! You had a wardrobe change, or did
you got to kind of keep up with the Joneses for these things? So yeah, I did a few costume changes.
Wow, Ted!
Yeah.
Okay, who won?
So for the Miss Minnesota USA, we had Taylor Fondy. She's a Vikings cheerleader. She is the second on the left there.
Okay, and kind of the gold.
Yep. And I'll tell you, it was a difficult choice. It came down to her and Muna. And you know what? When I was writing names, I didn't know which one I was going to go with.
Because you were saying that Iowa, for whatever reason, you were pretty clear. You were like, you know what? I see a clear winner.
Yep.
You said you were a little more conflicted with Miss Minnesota.
It was like it could have gone either way, and it was not a unanimous decision
Between the judges.
Yeah.
Was it really split, or was it just a few?
It was kind of like I mean, it wasn't like one vote would have swung the whole thing, but yeah, it was up and down.
I've told you before that I hosted the Miss Minnesota pageant, I think in 02 or 03, and it is way more intense than I thought it was. The atmosphere, the parents, the agents. What surprised you the most in doing this one?
So it's interesting because so afterwards, people would be like, you could tell whose coach was who. Like what girl, who her coach was by how she walked. And I was like, what? But yeah, like how they walk, how they stand, how they
present themselves, yeah.
Yeah, that's that judge or that coach.
Oh, so you can look at the coach and go, oh, that goes with that goes with that, bada boom, bada bing.
Apparently that's what they do, yeah.
So did you, I mean, the most important question, did you try to book Miss Minnesota onto our show?
She will be coming, hopefully.
Thank you for doing
I would imagine
Thank you,
so.
yes, thank you.
Maybe we'll have her judge me doing something, not swimsuit.
No, not swimsuit, no. Evening wear, perhaps?
Yeah.
The audience actually is kind of wanting maybe the
evening
swimsuit
wear.
competition, yeah.
The girl who won Miss Teen, Gwendolyn from Duluth.
Well,
we
hello.
love Duluth.
We love Duluth. The Jason show's up in Duluth. Hello. Well, thank you for doing the hard work this weekend.
It was challenged.
I bet it was. Producer Ted, everybody. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words to wrap things up. Stay with us, everybody. Where was it at? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Well, now that the weather has gotten a little bit nicer, it was just rough over the last 4 days. It was not good for traveling. This week looks pretty good, so we would love for you to come see us. I mean, hello, we're all festive. We got the decorations up for you. If you would like tickets, it's very easy. Just go to the Jason Show Facebook page. Click that ticket tab right below the cover photo. You're in by 9:15, you're out by 11:15, and to all of you bosses out there, we do accept groups. We've had company outings. We can show you what it's like to do the show, and we stick around afterwards, and we do a Q&A, and you get to ask basically whatever you want. And I always say I can say things I can't say on TV, and so it's always fun, And then Aaron Schwab answers questions about her personal life. It's wonderful, it's always a good time. So
she does.
So again, just go to the Jason Show Facebook page and click that ticket tab. And don't forget, if you miss our show live at 10, we have a rebroadcast at 3 p.m. on our sister station, Fox 9+. And each day's show, the full episode, is always on our YouTube channel. We're going to take a break with a little surprise for this audience when we return. Back after this. Everybody, I wasn't kidding. Like a lot of you, I got caught in a Hallmark movie vortex. My mother-in-law watches all of them.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, whatever. And they're on in the background, and you get sucked. I now know why you get sucked into it.
You do.
And you can't get out.
I think vortex is a great word.
And people watch, I don't know about y'all watching, Mama Haas has seen a lot of these. Every time one would come on, I'm like, oh, what's this one? She was like, oh, I already seen it like 3 times. I'm like, you can rewatch these multiple times? I didn't. Oh. Aaron, really?
I watch them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
And they really do all basically have the same
formula.
The same kind of feel to it. But I watched Christmas in Graceland with Priscilla Presley and Kelly Pickler. Ted was right. That one was a little rough. I like seeing Priscilla Presley, but Kelly Pickler, not real good actress, but I mean, it was
she
pleasant.
Sounds so cute.
But let's be clear. But no. I love Kelly Pickler, but let's be honest. When you're watching a Hallmark Christmas movie, I think I'm speaking for everyone. You're really not watching it expecting an Academy Award-winning performance.
There's so much fake snow, it's not even funny.
Oh, this one movie, allegedly, audience took place in Seattle, and they went to do a city shot. It was Minneapolis. They used No, I'm not done. So they said it took place in Seattle, and then they did a city. They did a transition shot, and it was the Minneapolis skyline. Then the guy was leaving his office, and it was Chicago. I saw the Sears Tower. Anyway,
Oh my.
Whatever.
Y'all
As I said,
together.
we have a little surprise for the audience. Today's holiday ornament giveaway is sponsored by Home Furniture, who decorated our lovely set. So everybody is getting this lovely little ornament. Boom. I caught it. I caught it. I caught it.
You did good.
That would have not have ended well had I just shattered it right on the ground.
You
No,
get
that-
this one.
You get this one on the floor. Anyway, tomorrow on the show, we're chatting with the stars of one of my favorite shows, Castle Rock. You're going to see, I'm going to lose it tomorrow. Plus, Dale K is back. That's going to do it for us. If you are watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thanks to this great audience, and we'll see you tomorrow.